Greetings, what's up, and well met. I'm back with another Dungeon Alchemist video, and in this one I am going to be creating a northern town gate for my northern town that I've created. This is the northern town that we are using, kind of a Viking-esque, Saxon-inspired town that we're using for the current setting we are in. I call it Falkenheim, and I need an eastern gate for this fine establishment that we have here, so let's get into it. We create a new map. It's been about 6 months since I released a video. Sorry about that. I have been wildly busy with other stuff that is not as fun as doing stuff like this. So I'm excited to be back at it. Since I was making Dungeon Alchemist videos last, we have had a couple expansions. So we have snow added, we have snow terrain, weather objects, as well as a ton of new objects. So we'll be going over some of those features as well as creating this hopefully badass gate. So I'm going to start with making a wall. Big wall, the best wall. Let's see here. Collision's off, there we go. I want to get that close. Maybe do something like that so I can get some of the outside captured in this environment as well. You may have noticed a little rebranding going on the channel. I was planning on creating some sort of like video game streaming channel. I just don't have enough time to reliably stream video games, unfortunately, so I am going to be doing more of the Dungeons & Dragons focused stuff like that, because I always seem to make time for that. So I will be just focusing on creating some of that content regularly, more regularly than I used to, in fact. And yeah, so hopefully you'll be seeing more of these videos, and hopefully you guys like these kind of videos. If there's any kind of maps or environments you'd like to see me create, or have some tips, or just whatever, put them down in the comments below. I'd love to take some suggestions and figure out some more stuff to do for this channel. So yeah, love helping other DMs out, and I've just actually created a listing on a website called Fiverr. How are we gonna do this here? I'm gonna do a freestanding wall, maybe find a wood one. Okay. Yeah, those will work. These wooden logs here, we'll use those. There we go. Let's do that. Now, if these were to be closed, how far apart would these need to be? But anyways, yes, I released a Fiverr ad, gig ad they call it, to where I can make maps for people. To hopefully be able to do this as more than just a hobby, but also somewhat of a side hustle, money maker, you know, really making the bank with the Dungeons and Dragons. D's, the D's, and the D's. Of course, that's more of a fantasy than most of the settings we fancy in these games we play, but, you know, you gotta start somewhere. I'm gonna actually flatten the room height here. Get this whole wall section equal. You notice it's going to get rid of some of the objects we've already placed. That's okay. Easy to re-add. So yeah, there we go. Those are closed. So now I don't want them. I want it to be a little more welcoming than that. So I'm going to go ahead and open the gates. I want to add some sort of support or, you know, gate house there. So I'm going to look up just wood, see what we can find. Yeah, a bit nasally right now. Papa Nurgle decided to pay me a visit. Decided I haven't been sick in a while, so wanted to bless me with that right in time for a busy weekend, but you know, never a good time to get sick. Okay, I like the way that looks. We're gonna call that good on the gate right there for now, because I want to go back into my favorite objects. Can I add there? Perfect. Make that bigger a bit. Back that up. Back it up. Maybe they don't need sides. That looks good. That looks fine. Add our barricades back here. Complete the wall. Blend it a bit. Okay, perfect. There we go. So I definitely like the way that looks. Gonna be be flattening all this. I still want to keep the hills outside to keep that looking a little more natural if I can. Okay, so next I wanted to add a barracks in here. So let's see, castle barracks. I was envisioning it basically a large gathering room with basically a bunkhouse next to that. So let's go ahead and create that, see how that works. Pretty damn good. All right, there we go. I'm gonna add a few walls here, make it look a bit more realistic. There we go. Do that. I'm gonna move a couple of these this way. Okay, looks like a decent amount. And I'm gonna change the color of some of these sheets so they don't all look the same. Don't need the big gate. Okay. I mean, that already looks pretty good. And then I'm gonna go in here, get some cabin tables, and set those up accordingly. Oh, hell yeah. Alright, looking good. There we go. Do a fireplace or a hearth in here. It's a bit chilly out here in these Northlands. I'm also gonna put one over here, so don't want to waste the bench. Let's move it. Alright. I don't know how much my characters will want to explore guard barracks, so I'm not going to go crazy into detail. That's usually my biggest problem, is over prepping. So okay, all walls in a room. I'm going to use these logs here. Kind of going with more of a northern rustic cabin kind of feel for most of this stuff. And I'm going to go with a stone floor. I'm playing a decent amount of Skyrim in my free time. 200 mods on it. Definitely good inspiration for anybody who's looking for DM stuff about, you know, northern places like this, or any kind of Viking, Anglo-Saxon setting. Brick it. Go with that. There we go. Good. And it's gotta have a rug. We'll use the bear. That works just as well. We'll use one of these little square carpets for the front. All good. Okay, I like the way that looks. That's pretty much done. It's like a decent barracks. Aside from... have some armor stands about. Some shields. Weapon racks. We'll even put a signpost out front. That is a big hammer. That big sledgehammer. They were not kidding about that. That is a big sledgehammer. Might as well put a little archery lane out here in the back. Another one of these tables here. Throw a bow and a bunch of arrows there. Let's throw a barrel back here too. So next I wanted to make a Tailor. They do have, let's see, village cabin. We'll do a little cabin preset here. And yep, I knew it. I'm going to make this map bigger. But that easy with their new functionality that they've created for us. Flattened terrain again. I'm going to just do this because that's where I know walls in the building are going to go. Yeah, that looks a little better. Doesn't have to be big, just a small little tailor's shop. Is that a rug on the... Most of this looks pretty good already. I'm just gonna kind of reorganize it into a bit of a storefront and call it good. So let's see. So let's do one of these and another one of these. And that's probably good. I will resize this to make it seem more like an entryway rug kind of thing. Boom. Don't need a ladder going to nothing there. And I will add a couple walls here. Perfect, there we go. Move this for display for the customers, and then we got a little bedroom here for this merchant. A lot of this random stuff that they have, I don't really like to just toss or delete because odds are there's somewhere you could throw it where it'll look good. Add to your environment, like this barrel, for example. Like we just throw it in the corner, it looks a little better there. This chair, here's what we'll do. We'll duplicate the chair. Collisions back off. Round table. Yeah, there we go. I don't want one with a Ouija board on it though. That's probably not ideal for a little shop. A little reading nook, you know, maybe something like that. While people are waiting to get their robes repaired. I always turn collision on with the lights because it's just a hell of a lot easier, but yeah, okay, there we go. Again, I'm gonna go with the stone floor. I kind of like the way that looked. I mean, this all looks pretty damn good. I don't really want to change this stuff much. So throw that lantern up here, move that over. Okay. Tailor, let's see what we got here. For those of you watching this video, I really do appreciate it. All of these maps that I create are available on the Steam Workshop. I upload most of these to there, and you can download them for free. I swear there was something for like clothes makers. Tailor's tools. Yeah, here we go. Perfect. Hell yes. All right. So I'm gonna throw a bunch of these buttons here on the counter. I can grab those and use those. Hat makers. Perfect. There we go. Felt hat. This is badass. I've never even seen any of this stuff. Horned cap. Maybe do some Maleficent cosplay. This is your vendor right here. Now, I don't have a name for this vendor or any idea of who could be working here, so if anybody has any funny suggestions or anything, I'd be happy to throw them in my game. Measuring rod. Oh, man. If I had a nickel. I'm kidding. Maybe. Old top hat. Can I put that on the mannequin stuff? I cannot. Okay. So let's throw those on a display shelf then. Away from the candle. Firehead. There, that looks good. And we got some scissors. Shears. Okay, perfect. Spinning wheel. Gotta have that. Off on the side here, let's make a spinning wheel setup. Let me get another one of these fucking Ouija boards, man. Get out of here. This is not a haunted tailor's shop, nor does it want to be. Alright, throw a bunch of different spools of thread. Yeah, this program just, I've never seen any of these, honestly. Any of these assets I'm using right now. There's a witch's hat. That's badass. This program is just like, you know, I'm making a tailor's shop. Let's look in this category I've never even looked in before. You go on here, there's witches hats, wizards hats, maleficent hats, fucking spools of thread. 2 variations of top hats. That's how you know it's a classic program. I think we went through most of these. We got the loom here. Okay, gotta have room for the loom. Oat rack, that's badass. Look at all this stuff. Alright, bolts of cloth. Rather large. I am thinking we might need to pull this out, pull that out. Make another counter here against the window with some of this stuff on it. Yeah, there we go. Hell yeah. Alright. Looks like a tailor shop to me. Okay. And then I kind of wanted a small church shrine or something that would be used as that. And I'm probably gonna have to extend this map even a bit more here. So we're at 35, 35. Let's go to 40. Church, chapel. Here we go. See, maybe go this way. And I can have a small little graveyard on the outside. Yes, I like that better. Okay. Now I'm gonna add another room. Go to, let's see, mansion perhaps. Who's got the graveyard? Crypt, probably. That would probably make sense. I just want a small graveyard, so let's do that one. There we go. All right. Brave. The Frave stones. As long as it looks like a graveyard, it's doing its job. It does. Replace that with a stone one. Match the vibe a little bit more. Okay. I'd say that's good, building layout wise. Now I'm just going to do the terrain, add the trees, and change the... That's too strong. There's no winterized and non-winterized toggle for items yet. If you notice, everything I put down object-wise is covered in snow. I like to have a variation of that, if not just take that out almost entirely in certain spots, because I like the amount of snow, but it's just, I find it too strong on some of the objects. It makes them almost completely white, and it's fine in 3D, but when you're playing like this, it's kind of hard to tell the details. Whereas my favorite part of this program is how detailed everything is and looks when it translates into the 2D or isometric, 3D, whatever they call it, isometric 2D. So I found a way to redraw make it a cave, essentially, make this whole thing a cave, technically. So you could draw a cave roof, which blocks the weather parts from happening. So if anybody was wondering how to non-winterize their winterized stuff, that's the only solution that I've found so far to do that. So create my pathways. All right. Cool, I like that. Looking good, looking good. Now I want to add some green. So that's not strong enough. And that's too strong. So here, nope, still too strong. I want it to look like the snow has fallen on top, and parts of the forest ground are poking through. What's beneath are poking through, but still have snow falling on them. So also with the different terrain types, it reacts differently to what's on the ground beneath it. So the snow, this doesn't really react that strongly, but over here by this other green, it's pretty much solid. So I try to keep them separated a little bit, because as soon as they touch, their values change wildly. Okay, I'm gonna add some patches of really green stuff. Around that, we'll use that same tool we were just using, the same texture terrain. We'll go around that, but it'll be much stronger where these are. And then I'll put the higher concentration of trees where I'm putting these little patches. So already that just looks wildly better in my opinion. And we're gonna go in here and add some trees. Love them trees, man. Alright, already made a huge difference. We'll put a big ol' evergreen right here with another little smaller one next to it. Okay, what's next? We got bushes. Do a lot of layering, so you won't even really hardly notice those, but it does look the tree going into the ground instead of just like, there's the ground, and there's a tree. I recreated Riverwood from Skyrim. I'm sure many of you are familiar. Probably been through there 10,000 times on your 100 different playthroughs of Skyrim if you're anything like me. But I recreated that map using Dungeon Alchemist. I had Skyrim open while I was doing it the entire time, physically walking through Riverwood and then recreating each scene from the game. Basically forced me to take a deep dive into how they developed their towns and the way they did and put their foliage in so it doesn't seem redundant or it always seems detailed in the way they intended. Nothing looks out of place, and you'll notice different, it differs as you go from Hold. You go to Rift into Solitude or whatever. And just kind of started making me pay attention to that, and I've really seen some improvements come through in the way I've been designing maps, and my players have been really enjoying the maps I've created, and the Steam community loves them so far as well, so yeah. Now we need lights. Alright, I don't see much else I want to add or change. It all visually looks good to me, aside from the cave. So here's what we're going to do. See how we don't have any cave options here right now? I'm going to pick a spot like that. Okay, so now we have all of these options to carve cave, cave ceiling, redraw cave ceiling. I'm going to Control Z, get rid of that little cave pillar I drew. Still have the options. So now we can use that to get rid of the weathering on certain objects and spots. Yeah, see that rock? I'm gonna have to leave it. Actually, I should also mention that the Control Z works a little bit differently. To whereas if I was to Control Z now, I'd probably lose a lot of the changes, not just the last one that I did. So yeah, so you get rid of the snow on the ivy. That all of a sudden looks a lot better. Yeah, you know what? Let's just hit it all. I don't really want any of the outsides. I don't want any half and half stuff. Okay. So we do have that. You'll notice all these weird shapes appearing because we're kind of drawing a cave ceiling above our map. And there is a way to remedy that, though not in, like, you don't get the full use of the lighting controls like you normally do. What I was doing is just kind of experimenting. You can see the boxes there as they move. So we will... I'm just going to go like that. Change it there. So you still see a lot of the shadows of the trees and the sun coming through the cracks in the wall, but you don't see any of those weird rectangular shapes that we saw occurring. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. It is a little dark, so you can raise the brightness up there. You can change these if you'd like. I'm gonna keep it white there. Like, as soon as you start changing the sun direction, you'll immediately start to see those blobs kind of appearing. I haven't found a way around that, except put the sun all the way down at sunset, and then just brightening the map in other ways. So, noticing right now we got... Alright. I think that's it. That's good. This will be added to Falkenheim, the Eastern Gate. So yeah, this will be something that will be explored by my players this Sunday. And if you've watched to this point, well, just thank you. I appreciate you watching the video, checking it out. Every little bit helps. I hope you learned something. I've definitely learned a few things, even just messing around on here. If there's anything you want to see me try to create, leave it down below in the comments. Boof the like button, hit the subscribe if you want to see more shit like this. And until next time, fine adventurers. Stay frosty.